And generally, you would do those in alternating turns. You would try to lose some fat, and then once you've lost a certain amount of fat, then you might bulk for a little bit to try to regain some muscle that was lost. And you would do those in cycles until you get to your desired weight and body fat measurements. So here you would put in all your week's numbers, and then in this last column is an average. It's an average of all of those numbers, and it gives you the weekly average. Okay, so today just happens to be Saturday. I took my measurement here this morning, and all of these would normally be filled in, but like I said, I just switched scales, so I'm doing something a little different than normal. But so Saturday morning, you would come over here. Now, let me change this so that you can see what I'm talking about. So, when the week ends, you'll see something like this, where these numbers have shifted down a cell. It does that at the end of every week. So, like you see this, you'll see it shift again when I go to the 22nd. And see, it shifts down. Now there's 4 rows instead of 3. So at the end of every week, the cells shift down 1. Let me get this back to 11.5. 11.5. Okay. Saturday morning, that's when this happens. So Saturday morning, you would put in your last measurement, and you would see your averages here, right? Those same averages will be on the bottom row, whatever the bottom row is. Okay. So if I come in here, I say my week ended on the 29th, right? I will come in Saturday morning and say, oh, my number shifted down, which it's supposed to do. I put in my Saturday measurement. So now what I would do is I would copy these 6 cells, okay? Do a copy, and then I would paste them to the row right above it, the day that the week that just ended. So today is November 6th. The week that ends November 5th just ended. So then I would do edit, paste values. It's important that you do paste values and not just paste, because just paste will paste the formulas, and that's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to paste the values, okay? So you paste the values, and then since manually filled in cells are light blue, this is just a preference of mine for clarity. I go ahead and shade those cells blue since they've been manually put in. So here what we have is the averages for the week that just ended. 221.9, 27.7, 61.47. Okay, so we don't have calories consumed. That's because I haven't put in my numbers here. So actually, let's just put some imaginary numbers in here. So let's say 3,100, 2,900. So we'll make an average of 3,000, okay? So, and if we would have copied this and it would have pasted up here, paste values. Alright? So now we can explain a little bit more of this. So obviously the average weight is self-explanatory. The average body fat, the average fat pounds, the average lean body mass, the average net lean body mass. All of that self-explanatory based on what we explained before. So here, the average calories you consume. So every day, you would enter in the calories you consume from the day before. So the day before, we ate 3,100 calories Friday night. Saturday morning, I go ahead and put the 3,100 in for Friday, and this gives you your average. The average calories are used to calculate what your activity adjustment should be. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and explain that. So you come down to the bottom of the spreadsheet here, the plan spreadsheet, and you see a few blue cells. These are the ones you enter in. So we've got my height, 5 feet, 10 3/4 inches. We've got my age is 33, and we got me as male, not female, because I'm a man. And the activity level as 158%. So this is using standard formulas to calculate what your how many calories you burn every day. Okay, 158% means it's 150% of your basal metabolic rate. Now, you don't really care what that means. It doesn't matter. It just means how many calories you burn when you're at rest, when you're doing nothing. And so everyone burns more than that. It's so if you have a sedentary lifestyle, you just sit at a desk at work and you sit on the couch at home and you don't do anything, you'd say 120%. You say you burn extra 20% over your at-rest calories. Or you could say 138, 155. This is all a bit of guesswork based on how active you think you are. What this spreadsheet does is help to take the guesswork out of that. So you go ahead and you'll put your guess in at the beginning. Let's say I got here 158%. Okay, now let's go over here and look at the bulk and cut cycle information. Okay, this is telling you you put in your calorie surplus for bulk cycles. Okay, you want to keep that very low. I used to think it was supposed to be a lot, and I had to revamp the spreadsheet because I didn't have all the scientific numbers accurate at that time. Muscle only has 600, maybe a little more, but 600 calories per pound of muscle. So, and you can only put on a very small amount of muscle per week, a very small amount. So, you don't want a big calorie surplus when you're trying to bulk. That's going to cause you to put on a lot of fat. So I put as a guideline here 100 to maybe up to 300 calories over your maintenance calories. Okay, don't eat a lot of calories when you're bulking. If you're trying to cut, you put in here the amount of pounds you want to lose per week in fat. So we have here as a goal 1.5 pounds. Okay, so now we've got all of your demographics in here. You got your height, your weight, your well, sorry, not your weight here, but you got your height, your age, your gender, your activity level, and your goals. Your goals for bulking, calorie-wise, how much you're going to do a surplus, and how many pounds of fat you want to lose per week when you're cutting. Okay? So that's where this comes in. So here you can put in whether you're in a cut cycle or a bulk cycle. Most people generally are in cut cycles. Unless you're trying to build some muscle, then you'd be in a bulk cycle. So let's put a cut cycle at the top. Well, let's see. A cut cycle here. Let's put a bulk cycle here. Alright. And that's just changing everything because I got it copying from above the cells. You can get rid of that if you want. But so here, a cut cycle. First, let's look at column I. Column I is your maintenance calories. That's the calories you have to consume just to maintain your weight. Not to cut, not to bulk, just to stay the same. And your maintenance, my maintenance calories would say, based on my activity level that I recorded, would say 3,112 calories. Okay. Now, since I'm trying to lose, I said in a cut cycle, I'm trying to lose 1.5 pounds, right? So when I'm in a cut cycle like here, it calculates how many calories I need to cut out of my diet and gives me the calories to consume based on me being in a cut cycle. So when I'm in a cut cycle, I need to consume, and that's just at this particular week at this particular weight, 2,362 calories, okay? So that's the goal I need to be setting on a daily basis. Then when I go to fitday.com or the Daily Plate or wherever, and I'm tracking my calories, I need to keep that around 23 to 2,400 calories. Okay? And that will hopefully keep me on pace to lose the amount of weight per week that I'm desiring to lose. Okay? So that's cut cycle explained. Let's do well, let me see, is there anything else I need to, well, we'll explain a little bit more in a second, but I think that's fine for now. Let's do bulk. Alright, so bulk, same basic concept, except I said I want to add 150 calories a day. So my calories consumed will be 3262 every day. That's just a small surplus while I'm bulking. Okay. Now, what we have here in column N is feedback. It's feedback based on what type of cycle you're in, and the results you have for that week as compared to the prior week. Okay? So here, it's saying, congratulations, you at least burned off some fat. You also lost some lean body mass. And I just put these messages in here to give you just a high level of feedback on your results. So this is saying, okay, you kind of met your goal, but you want to make sure